We now say hello to a world champ, a 7-time All-Star, a 4-time Silver Slugger, Matt Holliday, who knows a thing or two about the first day of school, including, hey, the first day of a major league career. How busy have you been this season, Matt?
We've been really busy. We've traveled around and watched a lot of baseball and watched obviously Jackson play quite a bit, and Ethan, my son who just finished his junior year in high school. So he's had plenty of travel ball stuff, and then he's on the USA team, and so he was in Brazil or Panama. So a lot of baseball, a lot of traveling around, and enjoying it.
Matt, at what point did you know this was going to be the path for your boys?
You know, I think, Chris, the two older boys grew up at the stadium. They grew up with me at the field and always had a passion for baseball. And I think I knew that they loved baseball. I knew that they loved practicing baseball. Obviously, you can't predict like, hey, I think my kids are going to play Major League Baseball or my son's going to be the first pick in the draft. But I did know that they had some God-given ability, and I knew they loved it. And they wanted to go with me to the field, and they wanted to be around guys like you guys, and they wanted to, practice and be out on the field and shag and be in the cages. And so I think that when I talk about, what it takes, I think you got to love to practice to play in the major leagues. I mean, I think that that's one thing that I saw at an early age and feel like it was going to allow them to get the most out of their God-given ability. So like I said, I didn't ever know for sure that they would grow up to be their career. But I did know that they love baseball.
Well, with that being said, I feel like your message that you're giving right now could apply to any kid with any activity, even whether it's baseball or my kids play tennis or somebody else is in singing or dancing, whatever it is. How do you get them to love the practice without overwhelming them or forcing them into it?
Yeah, I mean, I always told them, like, I'll throw to you, I'll hit you ground balls, I'll do whatever, but it's got to be your idea. And I'm not going to force you to be a baseball player. I want you to pursue your passions. I mean, obviously, it's great that they love baseball and I love baseball and our passions match up and it makes it more fun to be a dad. But I've always said that it has to be their passion and they have to love to practice and whatever that is. And same with my daughter and my younger son. I want them to pursue what they're passionate about, and I want them to do what they love and what they like to practice. And so I've never really had to force them to practice, and I've always just encouraged them with this is what it's going to take, and we'll see how bad you want it. If you say you want to play in the major leagues, your actions have to back up your words, and I can show you that. And they've had plenty of examples, getting a chance to go with me to the field to see guys like you guys in the clubhouse and your work ethic. So it's been very beneficial, I think, for them to grow up seeing what it takes to be a pro athlete. But it's on them to put in the work.
You know what, Matt? I'm over here smiling because when I first got called up, Matty took me under his wing, and I was his rookie, and he looked after me, right? I'm playing center field next to this guy. But after the game, you said you didn't – I knew Jackson was going to be 1-1. I knew that.
Yes.
Because Matty goes, hey, Dex, I'm going to jump in the shower. We throw to Jackson. You remember this?
Yeah.
And I was throwing the balls at Jackson. Jackson's crushing baseballs.
How old is he?
He's 4 years old. He's crushing baseballs. I was like, dang, he has a really good swing. I didn't know him. And so we go to pick up the balls, and Jackson goes, nope, I'm not picking up the balls. I was like, wait, what? I was like, I think he's trying to get me. So Matty was in the shower. I'm arguing with a 4-year-old. I'm like, buddy, we got to pick up the balls. Either you're going to pick them up or we can't hit anymore. Because I'm not going to pick them up by myself after I just threw to you. So Matty comes in, and I'm like, Matt, he won't pick up the balls. He starts hitting the balls around. Matty goes, Jackson, pick up the balls. He starts picking them up. I was like, he was trying to punk me. I feel like I was getting punked. But he was raking at 4.
Yeah, I remember, in the clubhouse, a lot of the reporters, we had the wiffle balls going, and he would rip them around the clubhouse. And I remember him trying to, he was just hitting wiffle balls off reporters, and so I never really minded that. Yeah, he's always grew up in the clubhouse. That's where he wanted to be, and guys like you had a big impact on him.
No, I know. I remember Ethan and Jackson in the clubhouse every single day when Matt was in New York. But what are the conversations like now? Are you like coaching them up all the time? Are you like on the phone with Jackson, like going through scout reports? Or I know you and Ethan made a swing change this summer. Like, what's that process like with you guys right now?
You know, I think it's been interesting because I've had to learn, you know, they're both so different. You know, they've obviously grown up in the same home and they're very close and we're a very close family, but they like to be coached differently. They like to be fathered differently. And so that's been a challenge of learning the both of them and how they want me to be a dad. But then at times, how do I coach them, or when I see something, how do I present it to them? And Jackson has always been, hey, if you see anything, I want you to tell me, and tell me right away. And he's very level-headed and he's very reasonable and rational. And Ethan's a little more emotional, and we would get into it, and he would, you know, he'll fire his bat and throw his batting gloves. And he's more, I have to let him come to me, and he decides when he's ready for me to help coach him. So they're just really different. You know, right now with Jackson, it's just more like ask him how he feels. If he feels good, he knows himself really well. He's got obviously very good hitting coaches with the Orioles, and so I'm just there to support. If he has questions or has something that he thinks that I might be able to help with, I'm more than happy, obviously, to help him and talk to him, talk through things. But he's just very mature for a 20-year-old. He has a very good understanding of what he's trying to do, and he reads these scouting reports, and he knows more about sort of all the new numbers than even I do. And so a lot of times, you know, we just talk about, hey, how was that at bat? What's that guy, you know, what do he have and stuff like that. But I first and foremost, I want to be just a supporting dad and don't want them to ever think that it's all about performance, or when they call me that all I want to talk about is baseball. I want to talk about whatever they're interested in. Obviously, he's married now and they have a dog. And so we talk about other stuff. But that's kind of the strategy I use with them and how I try to help coach them and help them with what they're doing. But two very different kids that like to be coached in different ways.
Man, Matt, I would love this offseason if you allowed me the opportunity to come out and check out the Hidden Factory you got going on in Oklahoma. Like, I've seen so much coverage on it. I want to come check it out. And the word is spread far past just your boys. You have other players who come and hit with you in the offseason. What have you learned over the years as far as how much the hidden philosophies have changed, or do you feel like they haven't changed much at all?
You know, I think, Chris, the metrics and sort of the things that we can quantify now are different. You know, I think that back in the day, you know, I think about when we played and just the numbers they would give us, or, I mean, I didn't know what my, you know, certain percentages of you know, in the zone, out of the zone. I didn't know a lot of those things. It was pretty basic. You know, we just kind of had basic numbers, and I thought I had a good average if I was hitting 300 and tried to hit 20 to 35 homers and try to drive in 100 and, you know, try to get on base. And a lot of the numbers, you know, really, we didn't really even look at. So I think some of that's changed, but I do think that the majority of having a good swing, I think is the same. I think that I think there's certain positions that you have to get your body in to give yourself the best chance. And I think that they've done that going way back to Babe Ruth, to Mickey Mantle, and you start thinking about all the way to Manny Ramirez, to Barry Bonds, and then, you know, even the guys now. I think that there's positions that they get in they're crucial to being a consistently good hitter. Now, I think the pitching is sharper. I think the velocity obviously is higher. I think the margin for error with your mechanics is less than it's ever been, just because of the velocity and the fact that you face, you know, sometimes you get 2 at-bats off one pitcher, but a lot of nights you might see 4 different pitchers in 4 at-bats. So that's a challenge in and of itself. And so I think that a lot has changed, but I still think the basic mechanics of being in the strike zone, being ready early, and give yourself a chance to read and then react and have a chance to see the ball early, to get to bat in the strike zone early and to keep it in the strike zone as long as you can to clean up timing mistakes. I think those are all things that have been tried and true throughout time.
Matt, do you remember your career numbers against CC?
They were good.
I have no idea. I know.
Do you know?
I remember.
I don't know him, but I do remember. I don't know him, but I know it was a game at Yankee Stadium when he was in Oakland.
Oh, look like
Bases loaded. That he got good numbers. That he hit he knocked me out of the game. I remember gave up 6 runs in 5 innings, but it was like a base hit, line drive up the middle on a changeup. That it was a good pitch that he hit. That I remember that.
Oh, that ball got to be caught.
Oh, that's not your fault. That's not your fault.
That ball got to be caught too.
That ball's got to be caught right there. But that was the one that knocked me out of the game right there. That's all in the same day, bro. That was a bad day for me right there.
I was going to say, I didn't think we faced each other very much. I mean, that was probably late in both of our careers, or later, I guess, in both of our careers. I didn't face him early. When I faced him in the minor leagues back when he was throwing 100.
Yeah, Kinston and Winston-Salem.
I remember walking away from that thinking, I don't want any part of that. So that was.
Hey, but you know how it is. You know how it is. You know who owns you, but you never know who you really own. I got hits off of them, but they remember you.
Yeah, small sample size, 9 at bats. The guys that I faced in my division, guys that I had 40 or 50 at bats off, you remember if that was good or bad. But
yeah, right.
The guys that that you faced here and there, a lot of times I had no idea.
Yeah.
Matt, I have a favor to ask of you. When CY does come out to the compound, will you teach him how to play pickleball?
Dang.
Sure.
Yeah, I know how to play a little bit already.
Not on this man's level, though.
But I'm ready, though.
See, look.
Yeah, I'll teach you. Yeah, it's fun.
I look forward to it.
I'm pickleball like you guys are golf. So you guys, I look on Instagram and you guys are playing golf all the time, and that's usually in between pickleball matches. So I've found my hobby a little different. But,
who's the best pickleball player in the house?
No, but this man goes when Ethan's playing tournaments, he'll go and find a pickleball and just go play by himself.
Find a pickup game.
He'll go find pickup games and go play by himself.
Hey, you need an extra? I got it.
I think the worst one was in Milwaukee. I was at the PBR All-American game, and we were staying right downtown, and I saw a court underneath a bridge, and it was I was like, all right, I'm just gonna walk down there and see what happens. I ended up playing with these Marquette dental students, and I was just like, what am I doing? This is
Did they realize? Did they figure out who you were?
I don't think so. I mean, they're probably like, no way. I can't be playing under a bridge in Milwaukee. So,
I love it.
Yeah, my wife says I've turned into an extrovert, that I used to be an introvert, and that pickleball has created an extrovert. So I don't know what that is.
That's dope.
That's awesome.
Well, we will be looking for you under a bridge under the nearest American city, Matt Holliday. Thanks so much for coming on Clubhouse. We appreciate the time.